What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Thursday, September 21st, 2023, and I have some breaking news to share with you guys. Right now, it is 1:36 p.m. Eastern Time here in the United States, and we currently have a Doomsday plane and a nuclear bomber in the air, both of them getting aerially refueled over the Midwest. And this is really interesting and very unusual to have both of these in the air at the same time and both getting aerially refueled. And both of them took off from their respective airports at the same time. So here we have the presidential Doomsday plane, the E-4B Night Watch. It's currently flying over the Mark Twain National Forest in southern Missouri, and it's being accompanied by an aerial refueler. Okay, so this is really, really interesting, and it took off from Offutt Air Base, which is home of Stratcom, and it flew all the way to southwestern Pennsylvania, turned around and came back towards Missouri, and now it is flying eastbound over the Ozarks. Okay, and the B-52 nuclear bomber took off from Barksdale Air Force Base in the Shreveport, Louisiana area. And Barksdale Air Force Base is home of Air Force Global Strike Command, and Air Force Global Strike Command manages the air leg of our nuclear triad. So they manage our Minuteman missiles and also our bomber force. And so this B 52 took off from Barksdale, and it's currently near Bowling Green, Kentucky. Okay, and it met an aerial refueler near Bowling Green, Kentucky. So now it's heading like northwest. So this is really interesting, guys. You know, we're already nearing 2 months of these Doomsday planes being in the air every single day. Okay, every single day, a Doomsday plane, a nuclear bomber. Our military is on high alert. Okay, very, very high alert. And I want to just show you guys another flight path here. This is an E6 Mercury that was uh, doing loops off the coast of New Jersey, and it was way out in international waters just off the continental shelf. And these planes are responsible for communicating with our nuclear armed submarines. They can send out VLF messages, okay, very low frequency messages that can penetrate the ocean water and reach the submarines, and they can issue what are known as emergency action messages or emergency war orders. An emergency action message is just a nuclear attack option that is broadcasted from the Pentagon, and it tells the submarines various targeting options, requirements for targeting. And then an emergency war order would be if the president decided to, give the order to launch. So these planes are critical. They can also remotely launch all of our Minuteman III ICBMs. Okay, we have 400 of those in the Midwest, and these can remotely launch all of them if ground-based command and control get wiped out. But for this thing to be up in the air at the time it was in the middle of the night, and it was doing all these loops here. So that tells me it was communicating with some submarines in the Atlantic, our Ohio class subs. And then last night we also had a nuke sniffer plane that was up in the air with an aerial refueler. Very, very interesting. They both took off at the same time, and it met the aerial refueler midair, and then it went to Iowa, came back and landed at Offutt Air Base. Very, very interesting. And I want to just mention something very important to you guys, not related to doomsday planes. We currently have tropical storm warnings posted for North Carolina, Virginia, and I believe also Delaware. Okay, and this is coming from Tropical Cyclone 16. It could develop into a tropical storm. It most likely will. and it could have impacts as soon as tomorrow and I'm sorry, not tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday this weekend. Okay, and remember 9/23/23 is this Saturday. Okay, there's many people who believe that something big could happen on 9/23/23 or sometime around then. What's interesting is Putin decided to invade Ukraine on 2/22/22, and many people were saying something was going to happen then. The actual invasion started on 2/24/22, but we know that the New World Order, they like to operate around numbers because the New World Order is satanic, and so they like to do things on certain dates. Okay, so we'll have to keep an eye on this tropical storm here. Want to just go through some more breaking news. So, numerous people reported seeing up to 4 fighter jets over the skies of mid Michigan recently, according to the website for the 180th Fighter Wing Squadron out of Swanton, Ohio. The jets were engaging in an exercise to track a potential threat. A civil air patrol aircraft was spotted on radar and played the role of the threat. According to the news release, the fighter jets were practicing responding to that threat. Okay, so if you remember, there was that Chinese balloon that was over Michigan, okay, or Lake Michigan. So now we have, the Air Force practicing over Michigan, responding to planes or objects that violate U.S. airspace. So they must know something that we don't. If they're at the point where they're actually practicing this, that means it might be happening often. Um, we have some breaking news coming from Mike Pence. Mike Pence said that if he were to become president, he would give Ukraine absolutely everything it needs to defeat the Russian Federation. Very strong words there from Mike Pence. The Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman said to Bret Baier on Fox News that if Iran gets nuclear weapons, then Saudi Arabia will have to get nuclear weapons also. And we have President Zelensky arriving at the Pentagon. Here he is meeting Lloyd Austin. Okay, so for Zelensky to go to the Pentagon, obviously, the U.S. is basically running this whole war, and Ukraine is basically just the army, and the U.S. is planning everything. The Pentagon is planning everything, and the Ukrainian army is basically becoming an extension of the U.S. Military. Okay, and he also had meetings with several congressmen, and the Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, said he denied Zelensky the opportunity to speak before Congress due to the busyness of legislators. We have some breaking news coming in from South Carolina about that F-35 that basically went rogue and crashed. The pilot of a $100 million F-35 jet ejected from the plane, stating that bad weather caused him to lose control, and it seems he bailed out before activating the tracking system. A voice on a Charleston County Emergency Medical Services call reported that the pilot couldn't pinpoint where the plane crashed, attributing it to the weather. The pilot has since been discharged. Military officials haven't disclosed the exact reason for the quick exit, simply labeling it as a malfunction. Yeah, right. Such a BS story, guys. Okay, these are top of the line fighter jets. They don't just malfunction for no reason, and bad weather is not going to have an effect on an F-35. They're made to be all weather. Okay, so this is just a complete BS story. My personal opinion is they were testing AI and it went wrong, and the plane crashed. I think they were testing an AI system on that F-35 that would basically fly the jet on its own, and something went wrong, and he had to eject, or maybe that was part of the exercise that they wanted to separate the pilot from the jet and see if the jet would fly on its own and land on its own. and it didn't. It crashed. That's just my opinion. But why is the military being so hush hush about this? If there's nothing to hide, why are they being so weird about it? So something is off, okay? And the B-52s are going to be getting an upgrade. So apparently, a B-52 recently got an upgrade to an active phased array radar, and they got the radar from Raytheon. Okay, Raytheon is going to be upgrading all the B-52s to have active phased array radars, and the new radar will improve its navigation and targeting capabilities in high threat regions, said Michelle Stachinsky, vice president of the Agile Radar Solutions division at Raytheon. Okay, so the B-52s are going to get better radars now. And I want to just read to you guys some of the emails that I received a couple of days ago. I asked you guys to send me emails letting me know about any military activity that you see in your area, unusual military activity. So I'm asking you guys to continue to send me emails. If you see something very, very unusual for your area, please report it to me. I'm keeping track of what the military is doing, basically, because our military is operating at a very high level of alert right now. So if you see anything unusual, send me an email, nyprepper85@gmail.com. I want to just share some emails with you guys that I got. So this is coming from Joshua. Joshua said there has been a lot of activity here in Fort Smith, Arkansas at Effing Air Force Base. At least 10 jets so far have taken off. I think it's training because we are hosting some allied nations to train on the F-16s and F-35s. We also have an email coming in from Duluth, Minnesota. This person lives by a fighter jet base, and he's saying that they've been practicing more than normal. I am a truck driver and see lots of military stuff moving back and forth on Highway 53, like going to Canada and back. Army guys at fuel pumps in rented semis with rented front end loaders with sandbags also on trailers. Okay, so this guy's truck driver, lives near a fighter base, says he sees a lot of fighter jets and lots of convoys going up and down. Also, I have a viewer from Washington State, near Jim Creek Naval Radio Station. Apparently, this week, multiple fighter jets were flying over Jim Creek with transponders turned off. And, that's very unusual. This person has been tracking flights in their area for a while, and they've never seen jets flying over Jim Creek with their transponders off. And Jim Creek Naval Radio Station is one of the critical transmitter sites for VLF. Okay, we have the E6 Mercuries, which are the airborne communications post, uh, communications relay, and we have Jim Creek in Washington, and then we have Cutler in Maine, and those are our ground-based VLF transmitter sites. Okay, so they send out VLF messages to our submerged nuclear-armed submarines. So the emergency action messages and emergency war orders go through Jim Creek and Cutler, Maine, and for there to be fighter jets flying over with transponders off is pretty concerning. That means that they're trying to provide some security over Jim Creek, and they turn their transponders off so nobody would see them. But that's pretty much it, guys. I'll keep you updated. I'll probably do another update later today. I'm not 100% sure if I'll be able to stream tonight. I have some things to do, but I will be streaming at some point this weekend if I don't stream tonight. So make sure you have the bell notification turned on so you get notified when I go live and when I post videos. And I want to just say thank you to all of my moderators and all of my supporters who've been with me for so long. I appreciate you guys. I just crossed over 70,000 subscribers, which is huge. So hopefully soon I'll hit 100,000 So thank you guys so much and take care. God bless. And don't forget the 3 P's: prepare, practice, and persevere.